Podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks, because that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag, you hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
Forgot to pour this.
You're slacking.
My bad. Cheers. I don't
Cheers,
know what's
boys.
happening. I don't know what to do with my hands.
You're two fisting.
Which one?
You know, this
You
music
gotta
always
drink
sounds
one and
so,
swing one. Which
so
one you
loud.
doing?
Yeah, I don't know. That's that quote from Step Brothers. You got to F1, you kill one,
I
and
rated G for
Marry
just,
one.
just
marry one.
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I don't remember the question that good enough. So
I remember it, but I'm not gonna repeat it.
Start off clean. I like
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
movie
try
star.
it. Turn
It's
a new
just-
leaf here.
Yeah, alcohol kills germs. Let's just keep it clean in here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I clean the studio. Let's keep it.
All right,
There's more to do here, but we're getting there.
a little at a time, baby steps.
We got the bear archery. The bear archery. Okay, well that counts. The bear legit bow
It's-
behind you there.
It's legit. It comes with a sight and a rest and a
A quiver,
quiver.
also,
Beef's
and
already served in and all that cool stuff. Yeah,
so that's on display in
It's
here.
ready.
pretty sweet rig.
Anyway, we're coming at you from the Okayest Hunter studio, brought to you by Spartan Forge. Their mapping application is just beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I say the
amazing.
detail is incredible. The journaling is fantastic. The even like the pins that you're dropping.
Mhm.
There's like a shed antler pin.
Mhm.
I know you were dropping pins on there.
Yeah,
I will
That's
say
that's a shirt idea for them. Dropping pins.
the pins. I do like the pins better than a lot of other
apps.
apps out there
Yeah.
because I feel like it's really hard for me to like name and then edit and then like it's just a lot of clicking.
Mm-hmm.
But in Spartan Forge, because I was dropping some pins the other day also, since I haven't been able to get out much, I'm like getting out in my brain. But dropping the pins and selecting what they are
Yeah.
is pretty user friendly.
That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
It was great as I was beelining it through the marsh, through the swamp, and as I found stuff, I'd snap a picture, put a picture and a pin on there. It was real simple, all one screen, ready to roll.
Nice. Are you either of you doing the journaling feature on there?
I haven't been out.
I
to
haven't done
journal
it yet,
anything
and I figured if I'm doing a picture, why do I need to journal? I'll know what it is.
You can add pictures to
That's
your
good.
journal entries.
I know, but there's the picture. It's right there.
Can you add a journal to your picture entries?
I don't know if it goes both ways. I don't know why you got to go weird and go both
Sorry, sorry.
You're the one that went weird with it.
No, I've just been dropping them e-scouting.
Okay.
That's all I've been doing. Is just looking at maps and dropping pins.
Points of interest.
Interesting points.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting points indeed.
Si, senor.
Shout out to Latitude for being a friend of the show. Drop Time Spirits. I just poured some of that up, by the way. We're going to be getting our hands on some new Latitude stuff. We'll get Derek outfitted with the saddle.
Woo.
I have a horrendous cough today, guys, so you're going to have to pick up my slack.
As
If
long
I
as you don't
start
sharpen your
laughing
cough, you're okay.
or doing too much talking, I'm going to start coughing.
You're definitely
you-
talking quieter. which
you
is
wearing
good for the
Depends?
cough.
Not yet.
You
I
might
should
have
be.
to.
Well, anyway, yeah, what else? I mean, I feel like you guys haven't been in here in a while. The basement's clean a little bit, or it's different.
It has been a while.
Everything looks nice.
Yeah, it
really
looks nice. Looks like we haven't been here.
Looks like
Yeah,
we haven't
that's what
been
it is.
it's just piling up beer
It's your
bottles all
ale.
over your
Beer bottles
basement.
everywhere.
It's your guys' fault this whole time. No. Well, we do have a guest with us. Terron Hunt is with eHunter. If you're subscribed to our weekly email that goes out on Wednesday mornings or Wednesday days, depending on when the hell I get around to it, some of those emails have some news coming from eHunter. So, Terron, thanks for joining us on the show, man. Welcome to the. Oh, you got the Shooter Buck shirt
Yeah,
on.
fine shirt.
Dude, check it out, boys. Check it out. I'm representing today.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Look at-
cold down here, so I got to wear a jacket to keep myself warm. But hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
You
Yeah,
bet.
thanks
Yeah,
for joining us.
Yeah.
And you're all mic'd up. That's beautiful. Look at you. You're a seasoned pro.
I don't know about that, but we'll figure this out one way or another.
Yeah, no, we set the bar low here, so you don't have to be so fancy with us, but we appreciate the shirt and stuff. Tell, there's probably some people that don't know eHunter that are in our Ecosphere, and I think we're bringing on a bunch of new people. We got TikTok rolling live right now too. So
Ecosphere, is that new?
I just made
Yeah,
that up.
you're getting fancy.
I don't like the word ecosystem. It's overused in business. Ecosystems and ecosystems and yeah, all right.
What is this, biology?
Maybe.
Okay.
It could be.
Anyway,
Tell us
hole.
about eHunter. Tell us about yourself, what you're doing for those guys, and where you're from. I think, did you move,
who
by
is
the
your
way?
daddy and what does he do?
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, he's gonna cough
Got
and
him.
shart. Hold on, I got you good.
Don't crack the glass, dude.
All right.
right. We got to let him talk here.
Anyway,
I'm just a little jealous of the drinks you guys got going on there, man. I'm over here with a body armor, so I got nothing on what you guys have there. So,
wow,
What is that?
Oh,
Body
Sounds
armor.
risky.
you don't look like you have armor on your body, so it must be some stuff
body
you're
armor.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Oh, yeah, those. It's
Good
like
stuff.
a Gatorade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's about the best I get these days. Other than that, it's just water. So I'll tell you a little bit about eHunter. And I appreciate you guys for posting some of our stuff up on your guys' email blasts that go out. Love that. Appreciate that. So what eHunter is, it stands for Electronic Hunt Resource. So it's eHunt and then R. So it's spelled a little funny, but that's the reason that it's spelled funny, is Electronic Hunt Resource. And really, we're just trying to be a resource to hunters. It started out kind of just in the Western United States. That's where I live in Utah, lived in Colorado the last 6 years. And so I do a lot of Western hunting. My partner is, his name is Seth, not my part, you guys got it. My partner with eHunter. Don't go get weird on me here.
Gotcha.
My business partner,
So
Seth, he lives here in Utah as well. And so a lot of our focus started out as Western hunting. And then it kind of evolved from there. And so what we try to do is we try to keep up with hunting news. So on our website, which is www.ehunter.com, you can go on there and we have daily articles going up about different news throughout the country. So if there's a new hunting bill that's being released, if there's poaching cases, if you want reminders for hunt draws, we kind of talked a little bit about, putting in for different states in the West. If you're on our website, you'll know when those dates are. And so our website is really just that resource for people to be able to come on and look and see what's going on in the world of hunting. And it's really evolved even past that. So we have the website that, like I said, there's articles going up each and every day, but we also have our social media platforms where you can find a lot of the information as well. It links back to our website. We have a YouTube page where we're trying to do a lot of how-tos, product reviews, things like that, so that people can come and utilize us as a resource. So we're partnered with quite a few different companies that are amazing, and I can give them shout outs throughout the podcast today, but they help us out a lot. We do a lot of shout outs for them on our website and do a lot of product reviews for them on our website as well. But long story short, just trying to be that ultimate resource where people can go to, know what's going on in the hunting world and help them out. Like I said, we're really focused on Western hunting, but also trying to get into that Midwest and Eastern stuff as well.
That's awesome. And you guys obviously are kind of executing on the mission, because you make it easy for me when I'm drafting up our weekly e-blast. I can just go to eHunter and be like, boom, they already did all the heavy lifting. This was posted yesterday. This is relevant news right now. And, I usually start there. And if there's something else that's like super pressing, like I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago, there was the, the bill that was being introduced to Congress to like take away some public lands.
yeah, take away hunting access to public lands. They weren't taking
That's-
away the
thank you,
public
yeah.
land. The land is going to be public. They just didn't want people recreating on it for hunting and fishing.
And that was the National Deer Alliance, I believe.
Everybody posted
Yeah,
about it.
So whatever,
Yeah.
in some case I might pop in other places if there's something like really hot and pressing. But otherwise, you guys are my one-stop shop for that stuff. And you were
Sweet.
starting to help Greg and I when we were starting to plan our Western hunt before I had child number 3.
You did it.
Yeah, and then you had your surgery, so like just
No,
hot mess.
don't drag my surgery into
It's
this.
gonna-
This had nothing to do with it.
We're in a new year.
That
This
crap
is your
came
fault
later.
now. But no,
No.
it's a good resource for sure. The hunt reminders. Are you guys? Do you have like an integration with? I think there's actually a company called Hunt Reminder.
So we don't have an integration with them. Hunt Reminder is pretty freaking awesome, though. And that's really their focus, is making sure everybody knows when application seasons are opening and when they're closing, so that you know exactly when and where to be. But similarly, we have that same information on our website as well, but there's a lot more to it.
Cool.
And that's one of the biggest kind of speed bumps in with, people from the Midwest, especially, who can just go buy tags over the counter and are not used to necessarily applying in the spring to draw those tags. I know, looking at planning hunts, that's like a big thing for me always, like, when are these things due? Every state's a little bit different. So having that resource, like you're talking about, has to be wildly useful. And I hope I get to use it, but to go on a hunt. But I know that's always challenging.
Well, and there's a lot more to it than just a date as well. Yeah, it's easy to go. You can hop on anywhere and see the date, but a lot of times we'll put other stuff in there as far as what those application fees are going to be and how they change from the previous year to this year. If there's any new regulations associated with that application process. And so that's what I'm saying. There's more to it than just the dates. And that's what we try to give to people so that when they come on, they see that, hey, Colorado opened on this date to start your applications, but this is what you need to know when you're applying so that you kind of start on the right foot from the get-go.
Yeah, it changes every year too. Like, certain regulations change, or if you're not a state person, like, you don't get this access.
And units, breaking it down into units, like when we buy a tag for a state, it's good for the state. But I was looking into Nevada because they have a very early mule deer season, which, as a teacher, I don't get to go out early or in September. So I was looking for that August opener. But looking down Nevada's breakdown of their units, I mean, they have like 200 units, and there's like 2 non-resident tags for this unit and 4 non-resident tags. And it was like, how would I ever even draw a tag? No. So I was looking for information. I'm surprised I didn't come across your site, but I'll definitely have to check it out now to use that, because, man, it was a nightmare looking at all that information.
Dude, it can be so daunting when you're trying to hunt in the West. That's the thing is, where there's so much public land, there's so many regulations that come with that public land. If you're hunting out east, a lot of Eastern or Texas, whatnot, a lot of times you're hunting on private land where you get the lease, the deer lease, and you go hunt, and you really don't have to worry about the regulations associated with that for the most part. But out here, like you said, there's 200 units in a state. You got to know the dates. You got to know what the tag requirements are. You got to know what the carcass requirements are. I mean, there's just so much involved in it, and it definitely can be overwhelming. And so, and the world in which we live now is we go online to get that, to be that resource. We go online to find out what's going on with things. And so that's what we're trying to do is when people go online, they look, okay, I want to hunt unit 211 in Colorado. And what's the, where do I apply? What's the new regulations for Colorado for 2022? What are the dates? What are the fees? Things like that. And so we're trying to get that information out so that people can have that at their fingertips.
Excellent.
Good for you guys. How many people on your team now?
So our team kind of has rotated over the last little bit. So originally there was 4 of us that are owners of eHunter. 2 of them have actually started a nonprofit organization. I'll give a little plug for them. They're doing the Winter Range Foundation, which is a cool nonprofit especially for like the Wyoming and Montana and Idaho areas. And so they've kind of phased out a little bit from eHunter. So it's really Seth and I that are really running and owning this and working with it. As far as writers, we have several writers as part of our team, anywhere from 10 to 15 people that will be writing articles, that will be finding the news, putting that out there. As far as YouTube and social media and stuff like that, that's just Seth and I.
Excellent.
It's an efficient team you guys have.
It's a lot of work, boys.
A lot of
yeah, you guys know as well as anybody, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're providing a value, you're helping people out, you're becoming a resource. I think we're a bit of a hub of like entertainment. You guys are definitely more practical.
Sometimes I'm jealous of the entertainment side that you guys have, because I watch all your TikTok videos and they're freaking funny. So
yeah, well, that someone's watching while they take a crap is the difference between
but watching nonetheless, Eric.
Watching nonetheless.
Yeah.
Thanks for that information.
So you were I should probably change it. I never change the camera myself. I'm not comfortable with this camera.
I can't even see you, Eric. What the heck, man?
Yeah, I popped
He's
in and
hiding. He just wants to be the man behind the microphone.
Should probably move this table
in front
one
of the camera.
far back so we get in frame when we
It's
have
like
guests.
the Wizard of Oz.
Good.
But, yeah, that probably could. Anyway, so dude, you were in Colorado for some time and now you're in Utah. What big game are you hunting? Like, we are whitetail hunters. Derek is not like us. He's like, have you seen the movie The Big Green?
Yeah.
That's the movie. Like, he's like the one good player on our team and we're just a bunch of idiots.
He's full of crap. I'm like the redheaded goalie.
Yeah, that's Greg.
The red
I'm probably one of the girls on the team or something.
Yeah, I'll be one of the girls. So,
But whatever. I say we, generally because Derek's done some pretty cool shit. But I know Greg has a hankering to kill a mule deer. I have a hankering to kill an elk, probably a mule deer also.
Actually, if you put anything in front of me with my bow in my hand, I'd be happy to kill it if it's
Amen.
legal and do it. Yeah, I'll
Amen,
do
brother.
But talk about that, man. Like being a resident versus a non-resident, you have some experience on both sides of that equation now because we were talking to you about maybe, hey, what do we do in Colorado?
Mhm.
Like, well, I live here, so it's different for me. But now that you're not there, had you hunted elsewhere before? Like,
Yeah, so that's a kind of the cool thing. Once you get used to the systems that are the Western United States as far as application process and where you can go, where your better odds are, things like that, it allows you to hunt in multiple places. So I usually try to hunt elk at least in one state every year, and usually it's the state I'm the resident of, just because, well, for a couple of reasons, because of cost as well as because of opportunity. As a resident, you have a better opportunity of getting different tags. And then it's a fraction of the cost of a non-resident. And then for deer, I usually try to hunt at least 2 states every year, if not 3 states every year for mule deer. Those 2 are really kind of my bread and butter. I love going to Colorado and hunting elk. And guys, if you haven't done that, you need to do it. The thing that's cool about it, as a non-resident, even though I said that it's better opportunity as a resident, there still is a lot of opportunity as a non-resident. There's over-the-counter tags in Colorado that you can get in some fantastic units that will give you a a great opportunity to get a 300 to 320 inch class bull, and be able to hunt them in the heart of the rut. So you actually get to pull out your calls and bugles and scream at them, and they scream back and they come chasing after you. And I mean, it's just an absolute blast. So I'm more of an elk hunter than I am a deer hunter for that reason. I love calling elk. I suck at it, but it's so much fun when you can. I'm sure you guys are probably turkey hunters out there, but when you can call something and it calls back and it comes to you, I mean, that's pretty badass. I mean, it's hard to beat that. So plus those animals are huge. You're looking at a 1,000-pound animal coming at you with swords on the top of his head. I mean, it's just so cool. And he's coming to kill you as well. So it's awesome.
With freaking laser beams attached to his freaking head.
Yeah, if you're doing the bugle, he's coming to kill you, and if you're doing the cow call, he's coming to do something else to you.
He's
Either
coming
way,
to help you.
either
Yeah.
way,
you're getting that.
either way, you're getting
Outcome
it.
is poor.
Yeah, either way, you're scoring on that deal. But even for mule deer, if you guys are really, set on hunting mule deer and that's something that you want to do, there's a ton of opportunity to do that as well. So, Colorado, you can, heck yeah, turkey hunting is a shit. I need to get more into turkey hunting.
But it's good.
But there's, if you're going to hunt Colorado, there are some units that you can hunt in Colorado as a non-resident. Just the class of animals just not going to be there, or the population of animals aren't going to quite be there. And so it may not be the best place for non-resident. It is one that I go hunt, but it's because I'm familiar with it. But there's a lot of other states that you can hunt that there's opportunity, and you can get more tags. You can hunt every year if you want to. Or you can draw a tag, like look at New Mexico, where you can apply. There's not a point system. So anybody that applies can get a tag, or has the same opportunity as anybody else to get a tag. And then you're hunting, some huge mule deer out there. So that's a fantastic place to apply, buddy. If you're not applying to New Mexico for deer and elk, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you, because the odds are as good for anybody as for you as they are for anybody.
Our friends Elk Bros are out of New Mexico.
Yeah, they are.
And he said, anytime you guys want to come down, you can, be happy to mentor you guys or help you out or get you on an area or whatever. And obviously he's a teacher, so it's in his nature. But their brand or their organization or whatever is really centralized around helping people. So I find that to be, he said that to me. He's like, you got to come here, dude. I'm like, yeah, but I want like mountains. And he's like, yeah, so what?
They have mountains, they have hills. I mean, they still have terrain that elk like, so I wouldn't be opposed to going there.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. People think of New Mexico and they think of the desert. But there's some high elevation places there that is just absolutely just beautiful. I mean, it's ridiculous how pretty it is.
And I know the quality is there because I've seen lots of videos of gigantic elk
and mule
coming
deer
out of there.
and
Yeah.
coos deer. They've got some monster coos deer there. So for whitetail folks,
it's a monster
miniature whitetails.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Mini Muleys is a company now, so you gotta
watch.
I caught myself. It's all good.
But Mini Muleys, by the way, as a company, looks freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's a totally different side.
I thought of that idea the other day. I didn't even know Mini Muleys existed. This was before the expo in Salt Lake the other day. I thought about that. I was like, man, that'd be a cool little thing. You just get a 3D printer and print those things. And so I Googled it, and sure enough, here's this Mini Muleys company. I was pissed.
Yeah.
I applied to be a painter for Mini Muleys like 2 months ago.
Did you?
Yeah, but you have to live in Utah, so I was.
Damn it!
You would have totally fit the bill. I don't know how you didn't get.
Terron, you want to swap spots for like a year?
I can't paint, so I'm not doing that. So I'll just trade you spots.
That's funny.
I'll just use your address and you ship them to me. I'll paint them and ship them back to you.
Oh, there we go. We could do that. They're pretty sweet, though. Not to digress. Those are pretty sweet.
Very cool idea.
I think it makes Father's Day is coming up, and not really. Mother's Day is coming up first, but I think as busy as these guys are, I bet you Father's Day is something you want to start considering right now for those things.
Wires. There's going to be a
what?
No, I have plans for Mother's Day.
Of this coming to Holly real fast.
He's saying moms don't shoot deer. My mom, if she was listening, she would call and she would have her way with you right now.
Well, I'm thinking about my wife, who never would ever.
And I think that would be pretty
you're
funny.
Right. You should. That'd be a great gift idea.
Heck yeah.
Those
are cool.
I don't want to talk about the gift that my wife made me for my birthday.
Why not?
It didn't work out great. It was.
Was it a banana hammock and it was too big?
Oh, Jesus. That makes it weird. Here's the culprit right here. I hope Holly's listening. She said she actually commented on the comments a minute ago.
No shame. I don't care.
She said, deer. Am I right?
Am I right?
Let's talk about deer.
She made me a map of where I shot my buck.
That's
but
cool.
She did it 3D with like moss inside of a frame.
Really?
But when I opened it up, I'm like, what's with all the moss? And then she's laughing because she's like, yeah, I totally effed it up. Like, it's not good. I watched this stupid thing, but I watched on time lapse and I thought I could do a good job. And she's like, you don't have to like it. It's stupid. I know. I was like, it's actually a pretty good idea. But there's like people that do this for real, and they make it look
perfect.
Yeah. So she did great. But then she's like, I need to throw this away.
That is a cool idea.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
I kind of want that, actually. That's sweet.
It's neat.
Yeah.
What company does that?
Well, she just did it. I don't know. She just bought and then she
didn't share pictures or anything.
No, she made me
ashamed?
throw it away or something. I don't know what she did with it. I don't know.
Throw it away.
I didn't throw it away. I think she threw it away. I'll find it.
Get her on the phone.
There's got to be a picture. I really want to see it.
Dial her up.
We're not going to call my wife when we have a guest on the show. We'll call her later.
Holly, you there? You need to tune in, Holly.
But anyway, so there's some neat gift ideas, like the miniature muleys is what I was saying.
Yep.
But was it Mapterra? You can get. So she started there.
Huntterra?
Thank you. I think there's probably Mapterra too.
I bought my dad a great big aerial map for Father's Day.
Private parcel, right?
Yeah, but mostly for the National Forest up by the cabin.
Yep.
And my dad's got this super old USGS topo map with everything marked on there. But because he's used that for so long and my dad's the most stubborn person in the world, I bought him this real expensive, nice map. And he never unrolls it. I got it all up there with leather straps.
Oh, gosh.
I like this one. I'm used to it.
It's a freaking map. They're the damn same.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah. So then that was her concept.
But he's got waypoints scribbled on there before there were waypoints.
Oh, yeah.
In pencil.
Yep. Lots of them.
Shot deer.
Good. You can erase those and change what to mess with his mind.
I've been doing that for years.
Oh, God.
Hey, old man, where's that spot? Oh,
it works better when I tell him he's losing it. Yeah. That's not your spot.
That's not it.
That's my spot. That's pretty funny. So New Mexico is a good place to go.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And potentially elk. And it's intimidating. You mentioned how do you transport your carcass? When do you put in your preference points?
Yeah,
when do they go on sale?
Every state has its do's and don'ts with transporting carcasses across state lines. So it's another thing you got to look at.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't even figure out how to buy a turkey tag in our state.
Oh, man.
I'll buy the leftover tag.
Which right now you should have done already.
Damn, you were supposed to tell me. This is the second time.
I told you.
You didn't tell me.
I told you. You don't listen to me.
No, you need to tell me like the day of. Go buy it
Anyway,
now.
Let's talk about something else we can argue about.
Is this for
later.
real? You can buy leftover
Yeah.
tags already?
Yeah.
Have I missed my mark?
Always.
I've just this whole time
Every
just
time
waiting
you go
for
to
you
the
to tell
bathroom,
me.
you miss the mark.
See, that's another cool thing about West is you can buy leftover tags out here too. So
Yeah, there's leftover tags.
Sorry, Terron.
You're
It's fine. I'm already winning, so it's all good.
We'll put you both on timeout.
This
if
is
you
all
can't
on
get
record.
along.
This is all on record. We've
I'm
had this
gonna get an
conversation.
Extra large
recorded.
T-shirt. You're both going to wear it together until you can work as a team.
Okay, Dad. Anyway.
Oh no! Oh, Drew said no. It's the 21st of March for Zone 1.
So there you
Thank
go.
you, Drew.
That's the
He's
deadline.
That's like you missed your deadline, so now there's some extra
Now they're
tags.
available.
They go on sale then. So it's.
I've
for
just
all the
been sitting here
people
waiting for Greg to
maybe
text me to
for-
buy
I
a
don't
turkey
know.
tag.
I do what normal adult men do and apply for their
And
tag at
Google
the right time.
But that's not fair because I have
Fair
a
has
circus
nothing-
upstairs.
It's plenty fair. It's plenty fair. Priorities, bro.
Well, that's true. So Jeff has like a shock face on the thing.
Jeff caught
I do need to answer that question though. He asked about if we have a
Thank
lot of
you.
Miriams out here. We do have a lot of Miriams out here. That's what we
Nice.
hunt out here.
That's one of we're all Easterns here, so but our Easterns get mid-20s on up. I mean, I've heard of guys shooting 30-pound birds here. So
Wow.
yeah, they're corn fed,
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
like me.
How many different types of turkeys are there? Because people do this turkey tour thing, right? Where they go on like a tour of
Those
turkeys.
Osceolas
Yeah,
are sweet.
Oh, they're so cool.
Slam.
There's the slam.
Grand
So
Slam,
there's Osceolas, there's Easterns, there's Miriams, there's Rios.
Which
What
is
else am I-
that's the slam, right? But then you also go down to the ghouls in
the Ghoul- Yucatan. Yep. And then there's also the Osceola. That one's pretty colorful too.
that one's in Florida, right?
That's in
I think
Florida.
so.
Yeah.
I would never
Yeah,
think to
somebody-
go to Florida.
They got those real iridescent feathers. Some
Yeah.
of them that look really, really cool.
Really cool looking.
Yeah, Miriams are ugly. I've shot a couple of Miriams. They're probably the ugliest of them all. Maybe it's just because that's the bird that I see out here all the time, and I think the other ones are cool.
You're gonna
but-
if you ever come out here and shoot an Eastern or have an opportunity to shoot an Eastern, your mind won't change about how ugly they are.
Yeah,
So,
they're not pretty either.
the feathers. Look at the colors in the feathers. Don't look at the face, and you'll be fine.
yeah.
Oh my God. That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm still married. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you got the beard. That's why we have beards.
Standards were low.
Don't tell all the women their secret.
Right.
Chris Whitley said, "Oh, y'all are talking turkey. I like it." He's I don't know if Chris, if you're nationally ranked, but I know you've done some national turkey calling
He's
competitions,
done some things.
and it's impressive. If you need some help trying to call turkeys, you need to go follow his content.
Yeah, there's a lot of people you could follow. Not us for turkey
I'll say,
calling.
I'm horrible at calling. I've got a buddy that comes out here from Tennessee. He does a grand slam every single year. He'll hit
gosh.
all 4 birds every single year.
Wow.
Heartland Strutters is his social media name, but that dude he's a killer, man. He's a beast, and he's killed some beautiful birds. But
That's
he's an amazing caller. He comes out here, and I'll let him call because I can't call.
That's awesome.
So
That sounds
beautiful,
like fun.
beautiful, ugly birds.
Yeah, maybe not the Miriams. Miriams are still ugly, but there's some beautiful ones out there.
Now, are they ugly because they kick your ass every year, or are they ugly just because you're staring at this face all the time? Fair enough.
Yes, they suck. I hate hunting. Oh man, they're so hard to hunt out here. That's the thing is out. At least where I hunt them, they're not corn fed. These things live in the sagebrush, and they're hard to hunt out here. And so you have to be a pretty dang good caller to get them to come into you and get close enough for you to shoot them out here.
I like that we naturally went in from like elk to turkey because the relationship between those two things I've heard described, like elk are just like, a large turkey in the sense that
Right, but
there's
they
that
taste
calling
better.
aspect. So that's what I was going to say is elk, I think, taste really good. I've had plenty of elk.
Yep, I've had my share.
Especially for my buddy Shane's dad. He used to cook us elk all the time. And but turkey, I don't know, like Thanksgiving turkeys are like farm raised and they're supposed to be good.
Butterball.
Wild
Yeah, they're
turkey, I feel like that can't taste good. Like it's hard enough to get regular turkey taste
it
good.
tastes good. I mean,
It's a dry meat.
But a
It's very
Miriam,
dry.
like where
Oh.
Tampa is a sagebrush turkey
Yeah.
right around the desert,
I was
that
gonna
can't be
say,
great.
these things
Yeah.
are nasty out here. I've tried everything. I've smoked them all day long. I've tried
Thing is,
injecting them. They're
they're
miserable.
so much fat content. There's nothing there. Even our birds don't have a ton
Fat
of
is flavor.
Yeah, fat is flavor.
Yep.
And
Flavor.
yeah, they got a lot of flavor. Anyway,
Elk is amazing though. Elk is the best meat out there. I'll argue that till my death. I think elk is better than any other meat out there.
yeah, last elk meat I had was from New Mexico.
What do you think is better, elk or moose?
I've not had moose to say, but I have heard that moose is not as good as elk.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had moose quite a few times, and elk is just better for me. I like the taste of it better. It doesn't have quite at least the moose that I've eaten had a pretty significant kind of a dirty game taste. I don't really know how to explain that, but it did not taste as good. The thing about elk is it's just so clean and lean, and you can whatever rub you put on it or whatever, however you smoke it, it absorbs a lot of that flavor, and oh man, it's amazing.
Kind of like whitetail. I mean, you can do a lot with whitetail, really. There's a lot of things you can.
Their cervids are like small cows.
Yeah.
They're just a little bit more lean.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not accurate for everyone's listening. Like, this guy's an idiot. I am. It's okay.
This really makes me want to go elk hunting.
Yeah.
So
man, dude, elk is.
I'd be happy to pull a cow tag, to be honest with you, and go out with my 300 Win Mag and whack one.
Dude, don't pull a cow tag. Just there's plenty of opportunities to get a bull. If you really want to hunt elk, you're going to make the trip. You're going to pay the money to get that tag. Let's get you a bull. Let's get either an over-the-counter tag in Colorado. Utah has over-the-counter tags. They call it the open bull that you can get. I would apply it as many states as you possibly can for elk, but there's so many opportunities to get a bull elk, and they're so cool to hunt, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll shoot a cow usually every year just to fill the freezer. But if I was going to be spending $600 to $1,000 to come out and hunt something, I'm hunting something with 300 inches of antler on its head.
Why not, right?
Right.
Yep.
So, Terron, have you hunted in Utah since you've moved there, or?
So I just moved here in June. Well, I'm originally from here. I lived here most of my life. The last 6 years I've been in Colorado, but prior to that, I was here in Utah. So this is where I learned how to hunt. Hunted elk, mule deer, antelope, or pronghorn, however you want to call it, turkeys, coyotes, mountain lions, bears, everything here in Utah. And then, like I said, moved to Colorado for about 6 years and did the same thing out there. Hunted all those same species. Maybe I need to move somewhere else where I have a different variety of species. I don't know, but I love elk and mule deer, so it's hard to move anywhere where those don't exist.
I just feel like both of those states, Colorado and Utah, in my mind, are like the most heavily hunted states. You know what I mean? For like Western game, at least like when I think about it, those two states seem to just be so flooded with public land hunters and people coming from where we are constantly.
Yeah, Wyoming's creeping up there because of the opportunity, especially there's a ton of public land in Wyoming. Same with Idaho. But yeah, you're right. Utah and Colorado are kind of the upper echelon of big game hunting, Western hunting, I should say. The thing about Utah, though, Utah's tough because there is that open bull tag that's over the counter. But you really have to know where to go. And even if you know where to go, it's still going to be a tough hunt as far as the number of elk you're going to see. So if you do come out, make sure you give me a call and or give somebody a call that knows where they're going. If you were just an out-of-state person coming to Utah to do one of these open bull tags, it would be pretty rough. But Colorado is a great place for that as well. But yeah, Utah's kind of hard because it's got some of the best age class of elk. You can go to the Beaver unit here in Utah or the San Juan or the Boulder unit, and you're looking at 400-inch class bulls. I mean, just absolutely huge bulls. If you guys ever looked up Mossback, they're a huge outfitting company here in Utah. Most of their bulls come off of, at least most of their Utah bulls come off of those units. There's the kind of the world-renowned one, the Spider Bull that was over 500 inches. Huge, just an absolutely ridiculous bull. But, he came off of the Beaver. And so the age class and the quality of elk here in Utah is unreal. Colorado kind of has that same aspect as far as in just a couple of units. So if you look at Colorado, you're looking at the northwest portion of Colorado. In fact, the northwest corner. Units 2, 201, that area. That's where you'll find those upper echelon, those 400-inch bulls. The problem is, it's similar to Utah, is those units are going to take you 24 to 26 years of points
Oh my
to
God.
draw. So for us that are, a little bit older, I'm going to be, if I just started right now, I'd be mid 50s before I'm going to ever draw that tag. And so I don't mean that to discourage anybody that's listening. I don't think you shouldn't apply, but just so that you know the reality of it.
And that's why those areas are great, right?
Yeah, exactly. The tag numbers are low there, and so they, some of those units, they only give just a small handful of tags. So yeah, exactly. It allows those bulls to grow. Allows them to breed as well, so that age class or that quality stays. So one thing that I you guys may not be familiar with is the point creep. And so when I first started putting in for elk here in Utah, and it's kind of similar for those units in Colorado, you could draw those upper echelon, those great units here in Utah with roughly 15 to 18 points. So putting in at 12 years old, I thought, okay, in 15 to 18 years, I'm going to have this tag. Well, here I am at 21 years, and I still haven't gotten that tag. Those points continue to creep. More and more people are applying. More and more people have more points, and so every year you're seeing those points continue to creep up and up and up. So a unit that's going to take 24 to 26 points right now, in another 10 years, it's going to take 30 to 32 points to get
that's
that
like
tag.
the ceiling keeps rising.
That's
and
robbery. It's
can't-
inflation.
It is.
Yeah, you can't catch up with it. It's
Exactly.
like that Allstate commercial. But you got to be quicker than that. And the gold guy's like dangling $1 on a fishing pole.
$1 hanging out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mean to say that to
No, that's the truth, though. I mean, that's
downer.
put out
Yeah.
there. If you're gonna go out on a limb and try to take a chance at that, you got to take that into consideration.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I say look for other opportunities where you can, especially for you guys that just want to go elk hunting. I hunted 2 years ago in Colorado. You guys can't see it, but I got my bull right here. It was an over-the-counter unit. He's a 300-inch bull. No points that required to get him. Amazing hunt. He was bugling. In fact, he screamed at me right before I shot him. So there's still some awesome opportunities out there for anybody that wants to go hunt. That's an awesome 300-inch class bull. Again, going back to the New Mexico point, if you want to hunt 400-inch bulls, New Mexico has them, and there is no points there. So there's no point creep in New Mexico. So you guys have just as good a chance if you apply this year as I do. And I've been applying for 13 years.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. So we would have, you're saying we would have as much a good chance as you to hunt New Mexico and do well in an area that has a large bull than as you do for having done it for 13 years. Have you hunted there? You said you try to do 2 states a year, maybe 3. Is that one of the states that you've been able to go to? You're describing it beautifully before.
So I actually have not hunted elk in New Mexico. So if you looked up in the dictionary, the most unlucky person in the world, my name would be there. So
We might be right in there.
You're
with
talking
you.
to you. Forget which podcast you're on.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous because I've got really good friends that have hunted New Mexico 3 or 4 times in the time that I have been applying. So
That hurts.
yeah, like when they do all their hunt raffles out here, and they give out all the prizes, and they're like, oh, let's draw one more tag to see who the most unlucky person is because there's no more prizes left. Well, that's when they draw my name. So no, I've not hunted New Mexico, but you're absolutely right. You have the same opportunity that I do there. Again, there's no points. So, and there are some amazing bulls that you can get there. I would say, like I said, there are those 400-inch class bulls out there, but average would be 350 to 360, which is a huge bull, guys. I mean, that's a huge bull.
Go to New Mexico.
Yeah, I knew.
Taryn, you're gonna have to get us our hunt reminders and tell us you boys want to go to New Mexico. There it is. That's our new meme of the week.
Seriously, I tell everybody, apply to New Mexico. There's no reason why you're not.
It's getting an
Nice 5x5 rack hanging on top of the minivan, heading
Yeah,
back to
buddy.
Wisconsin. There we go.
Make it.
We need a 7x7 rack.
Hey. So, Taryn, is the mule deer tag in New Mexico equally as I mean, I know it's lottery also, like you mentioned, but is that one pretty difficult to come by also if you're wildly unlucky?
If you're wildly unlucky, then yeah, it's gonna be difficult to come by. But it's the same thing. It's the same odds. You know, it's just a lottery for you to put in, and you just never know. And it's
Yeah.
exciting. At least that opportunity is there. If you applied in Utah right now, you don't have any points. I'm sorry, guys, you're not getting the tag.
No bueno.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I've been obsessed with like Wyoming, Montana, Colorado because of the mountainous, scenic stuff.
Idaho.
And those areas, I have to imagine, like Colorado, most people I've ever talked to that have done it, that's where they've gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's for the same reasons I'm talking about, but I've also heard like if you're going to do it in September, do it with your bow so you can be a part of the bugling. Because I thought, oh, we can just go with our guns, whatever. And everyone's like, well, that's not the same. I'm like, yeah, but if I shoot one from 300 yards, like I got one, But it sounds like the magic circles I've heard it described is something that like you can't articulate how beautiful that is.
And Terron would know a lot more about this, but my experience with the elk was in Montana for gun season, so it was in November, and the elk were very much more herded up than they were earlier in the season when the buck, you know what I mean, running.
Yeah,
and a lot of them were hanging out on the private land that you could not hunt, right? And they would just sit there and right across the line and watch you, and you know what I mean. Like it became a frustrating hunt. And you would talk to people, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I saw 200 head elk over here, but they're across the line, across the fence," and it just became really frustrating.
Yeah. The thing is, like, so in Colorado, it's an absolute beautiful thing to hunt elk in Colorado. Colorado does have a first rifle season. I love that you guys call it gun season, by the way. That just sounds.
But we're so sense in here.
This is where it goes back to though, Terron, is our state used to be a divided kind of northern and southern zone where the southern zone had to shotgun hunt. The northern zone got to hunt with rifles until they changed some rules and CWD and all that fun stuff. So that's why we call it gun season,
firearm season.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. It's funny because out here we have our rifle seasons is what we call it, rifles, and then we have like our hams hunts, which is like handgun, archery, muzzleloader, shotgun. But it's funny to hear you guys say. Anyways, back to my point. So Colorado does have a first season rifle hunt. It's not over the counter, but there are some units that you can draw with 0 points. So you would have just as good odds as anybody that had 0 points for that hunt. In fact, I've hunted that hunt before, and I've met people from all over the country, actually all over the world. I've had people that have come there. I met there. One guy was from like Switzerland or something like that. Dang. So, but tons of people from Tennessee and Missouri in that area. So that's a cool hunt because you can still use your rifle. Obviously, it's first rifle, but they're also still screaming and bugling at you. And so that's a lot of fun if you're able to go out and shoot an elk with your rifle during the middle of the rut. And that's kind of what makes some of these other tags, like the Utah tags, the rifle tags here are amazing because you're right in the middle of the rut. Same with those special tags in Colorado. You're hunting big elk with a rifle. Someone put a comment though that says elk with a bow is magic, and I gotta agree with William Phillips there because there is something special. Yeah, that's
Billy's a hunter. Billy's a hunter and a killer. I mean, he's been all over the place and killed a lot of different things, and he's happy to share his experiences with you. He's a good guy.
That it seriously is, guys. I hate to use the word. I use it all the time, but it's intimate. When you're hunting elk with a bow, you're calling them in, you're raking in, and he walks in. I shot a bull elk one day at 5 yards with my bow.
That's awesome. A big target at 5 yards. Even you can't miss that.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I want a big target. You talk about 1,000-pound animal, like hell yeah, all day long. Look at that. That's my whole target block for the heart,
with feet.
I can't miss that one.
You can't miss.
I can. Believe me, I'll probably. They're so terrified
that have happened.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, you kind of piss down your leg when that happens, though, because that's a big animal to be standing 5 yards away from you, and you're going to put a hole in the side of him. He's going to be pissed.
Yeah, it's not going to be very.
I gotta imagine if that thing lights up a bugle within 30 yards, you gotta shit your pants.
Dude, I got a story for you. So my grandpa is deaf. Okay, like completely deaf. I swear. Like, I mean, he can hear a few different things. So one of the things that he has missed since he's lost his hearing, he lost his hearing at age, I think, like 54, 56, and now he's in his 80s. But this would have been probably when he was in his late 70s. He's like, I really miss hearing an elk bugle. And so we took him out one day, me and my brother, and just to see if by chance we could get it close enough to scream at us close so that he'd be able to hear it. Because it is deafening. If they are so loud when they bugle. And so we had found this herd of elk, and they were kind of by this water trough. So we kind of snuck around this water trough, and we're sitting on the one side of it. We called that elk to within, again, probably maybe 10 feet of us, and that thing ripped off a bugle. And oh my gosh, I've never seen my grandpa like smile and laugh like that. And because he's deaf, he talks really loud, and he's like, holy shit, I heard that. It was the best day. Oh my gosh. But yeah, they are deafening. They are so loud.
Man, at that distance, even if you can't hear, you got to be able to feel that shaking in your body.
Shaking your whole body.
That's
right
amazing.
In your core.
Levi Carey just joined us, and speaking of stories, I've said it several times. He's told me one of my favorite stories on the podcast where the horse fell down the mountain.
Yeah,
in Wyoming. Levi, what was the horse's name again?
Ironically, it was Karen.
Was it Karen?
How do you not forget that?
No way.
Levi fell down the mountain. A hell of a good story.
We have it somewhere in our backlog, and then we did like a featured memorable hunt out of it too, and we added sound effects.
Horse named Karen. Yard sailed it down the side of a mountain.
That's an episode, isn't it?
It is an episode.
Horse named Karen. Oh man, but the horse lived, and then they brought it back, and I think it still lives to this day. Yeah, horse they named her Karen.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was her name or not.
I don't know. Either way, it was a Karen.
She's got to be a Karen to fall down the mountain.
Yeah. Levi's saying stories like, "Oh yeah, there's a bear one time. The one time Karen fell down the mountain." I'm like, you can't tell me these stories. My wife's not gonna let me go. It sounds too dangerous. Shut the fuck up, man. Like, it's pleasant. They just stroll up the mountain and they shot it, and it was all good.
Wow.
Aaron, have you ever used horseback to get back to these areas, or are you hiking it off the trailhead? Like, how are you?
That's a whole different concept, right? The mules
how
and the horses.
How do you go about your elk hunting? Like, are you backcountry? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, are you doing a tent also? Are you setting up camp? Like, sorry to add on.
Horse's named Steve.
Never go with
Yeah, so I got my horse named Karen. No. Yeah, absolutely, guys. So that's the one thing about elk hunting. If you're going to go elk hunting, I mean, you really got to live it up. There are those hunts where you can drive a Razor or a side-by-side and go hunt elk, but it's just not, for me, that's not the experience that I want. So yes, I do a lot of backpack hunting. So prior to going to Colorado, most of my elk hunts were done horseback. My family and my wife's family have a lot of horseback or horses. And so that's what we've done.
Wow.
In fact, we had horses prior to moving to Colorado as well. And so most of our hunts were horseback. One thing that's cool though, is once I moved to Colorado, I didn't take my horses with me. I didn't have my family or my wife's family's horses close enough to be able to utilize. So what we started using in Colorado was we started renting llamas every year. So we rent 4 or 5 llamas every year for our elk hunt and take them in. They usually pack our camp in. So we pack in a wall tent. It's one of the big Cabela's wall tents with a stove and everything
like the
in it.
Really Madison?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Maybe not quite that plush, and not with Mrs. What's the lady's name? Veronica.
Veronica
on there.
Yeah.
Oh, hot.
Want to touch the hiney?
Here we go.
Yeah, so you're not that fancy. But they're nice. I mean, we pack in pretty light. We have these little lightweight cots that we take in our pads, and then the tent, and try to go as light as possible. We don't take any poles.
REI is a dream, man. REI is like drooling to get their ads in front of you.
Yeah, no joke, dude. I've spent a lot of money and shields and all that trying to get this stuff. It's tough trying to find this lightweight stuff because you don't want anything heavy. So a llama can only carry 80 pounds. So when you only have 4 or 5 llamas, you're pretty limited.
Little bitch of an animal getting.
Oh, I know they are.
Careful, it will spit in your face.
I know, and they're an asshole on top of it.
And it'll
carry your own shit.
Yeah,
carry your own shit. Ding.
That's exactly it. They are that way too. That's exactly how they are. I call them weirdos. They are such a weird freaking animal, but I love them to death when I kill an elk and they pack that elk out for me.
Oh yeah.
It saves a lot of
good job, Karen. Yeah,
great.
Alamosa is her name. His name, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. That's wild, man. So So what are you feeding these things when you're out there? By the way, what the fuck are you feeding a llama? Well, I meant to say, I almost said omelet.
That's what
You're
I
gonna
need.
say alpaca.
My words got.
Only if
I
it's
can't-
got
I can't
greens in
breathe.
it, they might eat it.
Bringing
They're-
on,
Damn it, Tina, eat your food.
yeah, you're bringing tater tots or
God.
what?
Ham.
They're
Damn it.
weird. They're weird animals because they're related to the camel, so they don't
Mhm.
drink. Like seriously, they'll drink maybe a cup of water, if that, a day, and so
Well,
they need very little water, and they'll eat whatever you find. I mean, they'll eat grass, they'll eat oak brush, buckbrush, really anything that they can find. They're kind of like a pig and a camel mixed.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. They're weird animals, but they're pretty awesome.
The horses are like high maintenance compared to like a llama, but they'll carry more. But you got to fuel them up.
That's the crappy thing about horses. If you go into the
Feel them up. I'm not. Whatever
I know
you
I
do
can't
with the
talk
horse,
good right now.
Jimmy.
Okay,
I can't talk good.
words are hard right now. I am having a hard time
Clearly,
breathing.
I mean, you had how many whiskeys, you alky, and then now
I have had
working
one
to a
whiskey.
Scotch.
Those beers are more potent than that whiskey. I tell you what. At 2, you're feeling it at 2. I promise.
You're a girl.
Well, I don't got the belly. Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
do.
hidden.
Don't look at me and say that. How dare
My
you?
face is really rounded up. these days.
It's bod jokes.
Hey, this guy wants to know a hack for packing a bow on a horse.
Yep.
There's a cool thing called the bow hitch. You need to look that up.
Who makes it?
Bow hitch. That's the name of the company. Is Bow Hitch.
Oh, wow, that's the name of the company. I was gonna say like T&K Hunting Gear has some pretty rad gear, but I don't know if they make that.
Levi, just hook a trailer to the back of the horse and put it in there, because if you fall off, that bow is going to be in a million pieces.
Yeah, why don't you get like a Rambo bike or something or a Quiet Cat?
There you go. Actually, that's a really good way to go. Get a Rambo bike with a trailer.
There you go. Trailer.
Hey, there's a cool thing out now too called the pack wheel. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Mm-mm.
No, we're stuck here in the studio. We don't see much.
We're just playing with saddles and stuff over here.
Saddles, tree stands.
Pack wheels are pretty sweet. It's just like an electric. It's a big wheel, one wheel, and it's got like a handlebar on it. And I think
It's
they
like
carry
a
like
motorized wheelbarrow.
Yeah, exactly, like a motorized wheelbarrow. But it packs
Wow.
like 200 pounds or something like that. It's ridiculous how much it packs.
That sounds fun.
I'm
So
trying to imagine this. I'm having a real hard time.
Chasing it down the trail.
William asked, "Do they follow like pack goats?"
Yeah, they do. They follow you perfectly. So you have your lead ropes between each one, and the front person just grabs on to the lead rope, and they'll follow perfectly behind you. They're pretty amazing that way.
Oh, Levi just let the air out of the balloon.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
the-
did.
That tires.
E-bikes
But then,
are
who the
illegal
hell are
in
they marketing? They're
wilderness
marketing to the
areas.
hunters, and if they're not legal to use, then who the hell is buying these private landowners?
Landowners,
Well-
people that get more money, or the guys that just they use them where they can, or they use them illegally. I don't know.
There's some places out west you can still use them.
You can pick your area.
Yep.
You just have to watch your rules. It's like everything else.
Yep.
Is it national forest that you're not supposed to use them? Any motorized vehicle?
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe it is national forest. Like BLM, I think you can use it. I don't know if you guys have BLM out there.
No.
That's not a thing.
Eric takes a BLM every day.
Can you acronym that for me?
Big, long movement.
There you go. All right, I was like struggling to get there.
Wow, I know.
I'm slow.
I mean, beer, whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Levi
Have-
hit on the head there. The national forest is where you can't use them.
Wilderness is different rules.
The
The
national
national forest.
forest.
I was like, what the heck is the hand national forest? Levi. How many bourbons does Levi had? Levi, I think, goes live with his podcast. He's the Pull and Feathers podcast, but he
Mhm.
just had a new child, so I don't
It
know.
won't be
On a
live.
great day, by the way, March the 3rd,
Nice.
which is my birthday.
Your birthday.
Mardi Gras. Happy New Year to you.
Cinco de Mayo's coming up.
Pull-
We
Pulling feathers.
Go.
yeah, Pulling Feathers. Yep.
I'll have to
He
check
does a
that
live
one out.
broadcast too, except they broadcast on Instagram because they're cooler than us.
Oh,
He doesn't have all this fancy technology like we got going on over here.
No,
breaking
but he
the
does a
internet.
bang up job, and he has good guests and
They're big into waterfowl
huge into waterfowl.
and the Western game.
But he makes his he makes time to go out and elk hunt every year, and he does a little deer hunting, and he reaches out to us once in a while, and he's talking about doing some bow hunting for deer here soon. So
It'd mean a lot to me if everybody watching can tell Levi to quit smoking.
yeah, I wasn't gonna bust his chops about that. You got to cut the man a little slack.
I bust everyone's chops for smoking. It's like a thing. Anyway, sorry about that.
Go to put it on public
Oh, I had to.
knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. If you watch this podcast, he's gonna be like, "Thanks, guys. Peace out, dick."
Yep, won't be following us anymore.
That's that. He's gonna put a cigarette out in my cheek.
He might.
Dude, that's cool though. His kid was born 3'3", 555, weighed 7'7". Dang, you'll never forget that.
No,
strange numbers.
if you forget that, you're a piss poor father figure.
357.
Yeah, man, that's
Very
awesome.
I think it wasn't 369.
Terron, have you ever found yourself in a tricky situation with packing out an elk, like when you didn't have llamas, or there was like heat to battle, or like where you're worried about meat spoiling? Have you ever had that in the backcountry?
This is why we have him around. He puts
Get us back on track.
He's the soccer team.
Yeah, yes.
So not with elk, really. Most of my elk hunts have been later in the season when it's a lot cooler. So I haven't really worried about hauling them out. I guess the only worry I've had with them is bear. You have to take a lot of precautions with bear country. You have to hang it up in a tree, out on a limb, so that they don't get it, whether that's at camp or whether it's at the kill site. So that's been my biggest worry. I've had some hellacious experiences hauling out elk. In fact, we even had our llamas. So we had 4 llamas one year, killed 2 bulls. So they were carrying 2 of all the meat basically. And so we had to still pack out the antlers. And I don't know if you guys have ever packed out 300 inches of antler, but it's a lot of weight with the head and everything. And so trying to pack one of those out of Hell's Canyon is pretty tough. But I have had issues with mule deer. So kind of go back to your point in the beginning, you talked about having earlier archery dates out here. For the most part, and this isn't exact, it changes all the time, but most of the time our archery hunts start the 15th of August and go to September 15th, roughly. It usually is within close to those dates. And so if you're hunting at the end of August out here, it's pretty warm. And so you do have the worry of your deer, the meat spoiling, and so you have to be pretty quick about getting it out of wherever you shot it at and then getting it on ice. The other problem with hunting with a bow is, as you guys well know, is maybe you don't, maybe you guys are better shots than I am, I don't know what it is, but sometimes when you shoot a deer with a bow, it can run a long ways, and if you shoot it I've shot them at night and tracked them for a mile and never actually was able to turn them up, went back to camp, slept the night, came back the next day, and even just in one night with the temperatures, that meat had spoiled overnight. And so we do worry about that a little bit out west.
Mm-hmm. And what state is that you're talking about that opens up early like that you had to worry about it?
So Utah and Nevada both open up earlier, but specifically for me, that was here in Utah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. One of the cool things, have you guys ever heard of Velvet Antler Technologies?
No, that's a new one for all of us.
So that's a product. If you ever hunt when it's warm outside, you guys need to check out. So what it is they have actually a couple of things. They have one product specifically for holy crap, no way, Levi.
that just derailed us.
No way, that is your cousin? That's crazy.
This is the benefit of doing a live broadcast, folks. For those
we're just going to incorporate
Levi Carey just said, "Small world, you hunt with my cousin Chad Faber."
So
for those what the hell's going on.
So Chad Faber is my hunting buddy, my Colorado hunting buddy. I never knew him here in Utah, but
now you got more of a link to pulling feathers than you ever knew you would.
Yeah, no joke, man. That is what a small world. Now I got to call Chad as soon as I'm done. So the stories that I'm telling you about, hunting this elk that I've got right here, hunting in Colorado where we're packing in with the llamas, that's all with Chad. So
that's cool.
Unreal. That's funny. What were we talking about before Levi derailed me?
Is that the spray? You spray the velvet antlers to keep it on, or how does that work?
Yeah, so back in the day, we would have to, once we shot our animals that had velvet on their antlers, we'd have to hurry and get them back to the taxidermist and then have to inject them with formaldehyde to save the velvet on the antlers. Well, this guy actually, he's got Native American roots, and he created this product that they basically used to use back in the day. And all you have to do is spray it on the antlers and let it dry and actually put it out in the sun, which has always been a big no-no. You don't put it out in the sun because that's going to create, bacteria and disease and things like that, and it's going to ruin the velvet. But you spray the stuff on it, and it actually saves the velvet and makes it perfect. It's like never, nothing ever happened to it. The other cool thing is they have a product that's called Hide Lock. And so if you can find that animal, so like my example of my deer, if I was able to find that animal at night, get the hide off of him, you can spray it on the hide and it'll do kind of the same thing. It kind of treats the hide so it doesn't rot, and you can actually use it and be able to do your mount later on with it.
Without all the hair falling out. That's awesome.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a cool product. So if any of your listeners or you guys ever hunt when it's hot, whether it's velvet or whether it's just you're wanting to save the hide of the animal, since that product's come out, that's a huge one for us out here out west at Bow Hunt.
And that was Velvet Antler Technologies?
Yes. Yep. Correct.
And how do you
That's
how do you apply that then? Like,
It's just in a. Here, I've got some.
Right. You
is
know,
that one of the companies that you
just
do
like
some
when you
work
were
with?
cool and as a kid and you had hair and you sprayed all that Aquanet on your head.
Yeah, that's why I don't
now.
have anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
lost
that,
my hair
you
pretty
spray.
quick.
X-Body.
I heard that means that just bald guys have more testosterone than you haired folk, and we are.
Whatever.
I don't want to talk about it.
You're the great paraphernalias.
So this is the product. Oh, let's see. Where's my camera at? So this is the company, Velvet Antler Technologies. This is another product that they have. I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm just like doing this freaking,
for fun because you
ad
like them.
for 'em here. Yeah. But this one's called Velvet Clean. And so if you have mounts in your house that get really dusty and dirty, and actually one thing they talk about with these mounts in our house, I'm sitting here looking at mine, they actually get bugs in the hide, and this stuff actually will get rid of those bugs, but it also cleans the animal's hide as well without doing any damage to it. So all their products are kind of like this. They come in a spray bottle, and same with like the antlers. You spray it, and you kind of douse the antlers, stick it in the sun, let it dry. Those velvet antlers are perfect forever.
That's amazing.
Cool.
Good to know.
Crazy.
We don't have a lot of Virginia and velvet here. Like, it's pretty small, if any.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you might get a roadkill. You could scoop up with some velvet left on its antlers, but for the most part, anything you shoot here during season, it's not going to have velvet on it.
Oh, that's interesting. I guess I've never actually. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I've never seen a whitetail harvested with velvet on it.
Kentucky is a pretty big season for.
I've seen velvet bucks on the opening weekend, but not big ones. I've seen some small ones, and people do shoot them every year. Velvet bucks in Wisconsin.
Is
Just
it Kentucky or Kansas?
Kentucky
One of the
opens
caves.
September 1st.
Okay.
They shoot velvet bucks all the
They
time. North Dakota, South Dakota, I think
Yep.
they have a pretty good chance of shooting velvet deer. So, I mean, anyone who's doing those hunts, that velvet stuff, then you're not trying to freeze
Well,
it.
the
or,
in-home
freeze dry
trophies
it.
seems like that's a real big market in contrast to like a sub market of people that are shooting velvet deer. Like, that's so few of hunters by and large in contrast to the rest of the market.
Right.
But I don't want this thing to the deer on the wall by Greg here. I don't want that thing to look like it's, anemic or whatever. In the next 5 years, it's all withered away because some bugs are on it.
There'll be a plate mount instead. Instead of antlers.
Exactly.
I just
the hide on.
mounted my what's left of my Euro mount there. The kids have gotten their hands on it, so it got dropped and wrecked a bunch. So it used to look nice. Now
Nice
it's all
little
like
skull
crap.
hook there. It looks great.
Yeah, I got that. So Big 8 is the mounting company, but they just got acquired by Wicked North.
Cool.
So now it's Wicked North, and they ship me one. Actually, there's one down by you, Greg, in one of those pallets there, or
That's cool.
one of those milk crates.
Maybe
What
I'll
have you?
take it with.
Yeah, if you got a Euro mount. So it's a pretty neat product. You just can tilt it, swivel it, move it, whatever.
Heck yeah.
I was pretty happy to get that up there.
Nice.
That seems pretty nice. Well, Terron, thanks for getting and hanging out with us tonight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you
us.
thought it would be.
No, this is awesome, guys. I'm actually kind of jealous of your platform, being able to do this live and have people ask questions and talk to you and find out that I'm related or know somebody's brother's cousin, sister, or something like that.
How
So,
cool is that, though? That is really, really awesome.
We have a new app called OK It's Connections. So
Meet your next
right.
hunting buddy.
It's coming out
right or
soon.
swipe
A
left.
little bit of tweaking to do, but
Swipe right. Swipe
Swipe
right.
right.
only works when you're
Swipe
drunk.
right.
Yeah.
Must have beer.
Hey,
Really like Chad,
Hey,
but he doesn't
before
have
I-
the win. So.
before you guys kick
Want to win.
me, hey, before you kick me off here, when do I get to come out and hunt whitetails with you guys?
Whenever.
Frickin' A, man.
We don't go anywhere ever.
If you apply for Unit 275, you got about 5 years, but we can get you in. We'll put it on the books.
Dude, 5 years is nothing for me out here when I'm doing 20 plus years.
Yeah, our point
got
creep
'em.
is like a
You
real
got 'em
problem
good.
here in Wisconsin. I tell you what.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Over the
and by
counter,
point creep
buddy.
we mean the 12-point bourbon. We're gonna make sure you have a lot of shots.
I've never killed a whitetail. It's been something that I've always wanted
Dude,
to do.
seriously, like I've got
Let's do it. So Trips for Trade is a friend of ours. Trips for Trade is a website. We could probably swap. We could probably find a way to actually trade a trip here, and you could come in and hunt with us, and we could come in and do some stuff with you. We don't maybe need to use their platform, but they're not sponsored by them either. But it's a plug because I think their platform is pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
But they facilitate stuff just like that. Like, oh, we've never killed an elk or a muley, and you've never killed a whitetail. We could probably help each other out here.
Quick question. Maybe you know the answer to this, since I've never bought a non-resident Wisconsin tag. Like, as
pretty
residents,
affordable.
we buy a tag, and like in Washington County or farmland zone, like I get like 3 doe tags for archery, plus a buck tag. Do non-residents also get that?
in some cases non-residents will get at least one additional doe tag, and if you don't harvest a doe, you don't know what you're missing on the dinner table.
Well, that's the thing. A whitetail, you're not packing out. You're not going home with 500 pounds. So shooting a doe or two would be a heck of a fun time on top of hunting for
good.
bucks.
Yeah, it's good. Shoot deer.
At least you get action. Yeah.
Yeah. Go out, shoot a doe.
Levi's feelings are hurt. He said he had dibs.
Sorry, Levi. It's mine now. Sorry, brother. Let's go together. Levi, let's get Chad, and we'll all go out there together.
Hey, come on
out.
So wait a second. Wait, you get a doe. Sorry, I'm so confused right now. So if I get a buck tag, I get to hunt doe too?
Potentially, yes, depending on what area you go into. Like the area, both Derek, all 3 of us hunt. I think this year with our archery tag as residents, we got additionally 2 doe tags. As a non-resident, you might get 1 additional doe tag, which is still pretty nice. And if you wanted to buy additional doe tags, they're not that expensive. No. So it's really not that difficult or expensive to do.
It might be free. I think Alex might be right. I think your first time, it may be free.
Or $50.
But still,
which is nothing in contrast to
nothing.
Yeah.
Your way, it's going to cost an arm and a leg. For you to come our way, it's cheap. We're going to make you get drunk.
It's like staying at a Motel 8. The hangover is going to be the worst part.
Going out there is I've also got to go to a Packers game because I'm a huge Packers fan. So that's probably going to be the most expensive.
I think that would work out.
Yeah, Rodgers just signed for another 4 years. He's now the highest paid NFL.
He's going to choke it again another 4 years in a row, so it's fine.
200.
No shit, did he really?
Yeah,
I didn't hear this either.
Today.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was
another 4 years of a bad
ACT
attitude
all day today. I didn't see anything.
Yes.
200. I think. Well, I don't. Is 200 million or 220 million, something like that.
It's stupid
that's
money.
it.
He's now the highest
money
paid
for 4 years.
He's the highest paid football player in the NFL.
That'd be pretty awesome though. A little hunting and a little Packer game action.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys just tell me when to do it, and I will seriously be there. I'm all about travel. In fact, Chad and I are going to Alaska this year, going caribou hunting. So I love traveling and hunting. So let's do it.
God,
that sounds really good.
So
you find a way to get us to go to Alaska or something like that, and we're talking. Well, we have a caller. We can't hang up on you yet. We got a caller. We'll bring him in. Hey, Billy, you're live on the OK Center podcast. What's up, you son of a gun?
Guys, you're talking about doing a little traveling, and you don't understand how good of a segue this is. So last weekend, I was with my family, and we went to the Mid-Atlantic Bowhunter chapter of SCI, Safari Club International. Yep. They have an annual banquet, and they auction off hunts and guns and, you name it. Well, I may or may not have had a few whiskeys and a few beers.
Oh no!
And a few vodkas.
Greg will judge you really hard for that.
And there were these auctions going off, and I usually bid on one. And we do occasionally travel internationally for hunts because these hunts are they're stupid deals, like ridiculous. The first time we went to Africa, it was a 2-person hunt. Each person shot 4 animals, and the total bill for the hunt, not including airfare, was like $2,400.
That's nothing.
Like,
wow!
How many times have you been to Africa the first time?
So I saw this silent auction, and it was for a roe deer and wild boar hunt in Serbia.
Cool.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Sweet.
Serbia
That's
is
pretty close to some drama going on right now.
Yeah,
though.
there's
doesn't
nothing
have-
going on there right
it
now.
doesn't have the best reputation for being safe. You know what I mean? And it's kind of close to, well, a couple countries away from Ukraine.
Right.
And I decided to throw a bid on it, and I won
Oh gosh.
the hunt.
No one
Are you
else bet
packing
on the
your
Ukrainian.
What are you
M16
gonna
and grenade
do?
launcher
Imagine.
with, or what?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I am going.
Oh dear.
I convinced my brother that he has to go with me, and I told my
Yeah, 'cause
wife,
he doesn't
I
want
said,
you to
look,
die."
I'll just up the insurance policy, and if I get kidnapped, I'll eat the cyanide pill.
Watch out, Vladimir, the roe deer.
Oh
You're
my
going
God.
down.
I'm putting this on my bucket list. Jeez.
Oh, no.
That was good. That was good.
Shit.
Wow.
We're going to be drinking Slivovitz over there, I guarantee it.
Yeah,
and
Slivovitz is like,
I was.
did you hear
I
our
was-
episode from last week?
If you guys
Bill?
want to go, please back me up. I could use like an entire crew
Like an
there.
army?
I don't know. We may all get kidnapped.
I know
AK-47 point.
I know
Oh,
at least
man.
4 people from that country. In fact, we talked to one
the
of them
gentleman
last week. So go listen to last episode with Ped Dragovic. I can't say his last name. I'm probably ruining it. Sorry, Ped. But go check it out. He's from where you're going, and I have a buddy Alex from there and a couple other buddies. Slivovich is no joke, man. That shit's highly alcoholic. I've gotten drunk off of that before.
Yeah, it's like plum moonshine.
It's very
right? Yeah.
good. It's fun to drink. It's fun to drink because you go
That whole area.
Slivovich and then you drink it. And, but yeah.
My uncle brought some home from Poland that was plum moonshine made in some old lady's bathtub.
I'm very Polish. My mother's maiden name is Rakowski. So no one really ever gets that because it's Clark. They're like, oh, Clark, okay. And I'm like,
We
well,
just call you
lots of
Clarksky
Polish.
because we know better.
Anyway, you'll have fun if you can.
So,
get
my question for you guys is, what do you think as an okayest hunter? How should I prepare for this?
You don't think.
Should I go over as Clark Griswold,
Yeah.
or should I really try to prepare for this?
The former.
You got a Clark Griswold, and I mean, I'm hoping you have a station wagon to carry all the cool shit with you. With at least six.
Preparation
You're
is
on
right.
vacation. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's.
If
let's
it was
roll.
me, I think I'd SRT with my one stick and my saddle and see what they have to say about that.
Did we
See
prepare?
what the Serbians think about the
You got it. Have you seen the
about all that clungamunga.
Have you seen the skit The Machine? But what's that comedian that does the Machine skit?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I
can't
am the
remember
machine.
Oh,
The
Bert
machine.
Kreischer.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bert Kreischer.
that too. I
Did he
think,
prepare?
like a big
No,
series.
no, he didn't.
You
Did
just
it work
go.
out?
The
Absolutely.
machine.
Did we prepare for this podcast? No.
No,
Sorry,
Obviously
Terry.
not. Obviously not. I didn't.
The best way to be prepared is to be unprepared.
Yes.
Prepare to have fun.
When do you go?
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
Bill,
well,
when do you
if
go?
you guys do, I don't know when I'm going yet. Like, I literally bought this hunt 2 days ago, and the outfitter hasn't even contacted me yet. I've sent him emails, so who knows? He may be like
What is
showing up in my door, kidnapping me in like a week. I don't
I
even
would-
know.
It might have been just like the nuclear plant with all the
shellings?
all the shellings. They might have took out his internet somewhere, and he doesn't know it's lost in internet outer space. Right now.
a friend of yours, Taylor, might be a friend of ours, Bill, and you might want to reach out to Bill because he may be, used to hunt terrorists, and he might be able to help you out there.
Yeah.
That's why I talked to Bill.
Yeah,
That's why
I
I
actually was.
Go.
I was texting Bill the other day. Bill's a good dude.
Oh yeah.
Bill's a super good dude. That is a great point because I need to reach out to him and be like, dude, just track me digitally. Help me out here, man. I don't want to get kidnapped.
If my
And
job
if I
stops, you
do,
can come and
like,
save
send me a cyanide pill so my wife gets the insurance money.
Now just have like an SOS beacon ready to go, and when you hit that thing, the OKS Hunter jet will come and pick you up
and it'll sound just like this.
OKS Hunter.
all the way.
Yeah, it's going to be a biplane.
Yeah, it will be a biplane. Might be a Cessna. It might only be firing on one cylinder, but hey, we'll get there.
Work.
All right,
Well,
guys.
now we got weird.
if
Now
you
we
do
got
wanna
now we
go
got
to
weird
Serbia,
people
let me know.
calling in.
I've
Look
got
at,
an open spot.
look at the
Alright.
comments. We got
That's the outfitter.
Tasish Makov.
That's the outfitter. from Serbia.
Wunderent. He says,
Wunderent.
pay the Oh, you're fucked. They're already tracking you.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Thanks,
ya.
buddy.
Good luck.
We'll see you
Later.
later.
So Terron, you're gonna have to come. We'll do a quick hunt. We'll hit the Packer game, and then we'll fly out to Serbia on that Monday.
We'll drink
Yeah.
some Slivovitz.
We'll die out there. Sounds good.
That sounds like a plan.
That'll be the name of our YouTube movie is 2 Nights in Serbia.
And that, folks, was the grand finale. Thanks for tuning in. Tell people again where they can find eHunter, please.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey guys, I appreciate you letting me come on and chat with you guys. You guys are a hoot, and I appreciate your podcast. So yeah, for the most part, you can find all of our stuff on our website, ehunter.com. That's EHUNTR.com. You can find us on all of our social media. So Instagram, it's ehunter_official. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. You just look up eHunter. If I EHUNTR, you'll pretty much find us everywhere. We have our podcast that we do a podcast every week. Usually goes out on Saturday mornings, so you can check that out. A lot of our guests are wildlife biologists. We've had senators on. We've had different people going over different bills and things like that. So a lot of cool guests that we've had on. This year has been a little bit different. We've been trying to get a lot of outdoor industry folks on with us. But you check out our podcast and then our YouTube page. Every Saturday, the podcast goes out. Every Monday, we have a Monday morning quick tip. It's a 2 to 3 minute video talking about different things that you can do to be a better hunter or just have a little bit more fun in the mountains. And then usually we'll do a how-to or product review video that comes out on Wednesday. So a lot of information, a lot of content being put out there right now. So those are usually the best places to find us. If you have questions for me, my email is terronh@ehunter.com. That's TERRONH@ehunter, EHUNTR.com.
Sweet. Thanks,
Awesome.
man. Thanks for being our guest tonight. We appreciate it. And everybody that tuned in tonight, we hope you enjoyed the show. We'll give this in podcast land tonight. Terron, hang out with us for a second. We'll debrief. And everyone that tuned in, see ya.
See ya.